There are always a certain percentage of people that are willing to try something new if it makes sense. And I think the bike does make sense. It is an amazing bike to ride, and I think most people that get it, like, you never go back. You know, like, I have so many friends that they bought it because they like new things, they have money to spend, but once they bought it, they stopped using their old bikes, and eventually they sold them. You know, because like every time you have to make that decision, am I gonna jump on the 450 or the Varg? And a lot of people are just kind of gravitating towards that, I guess.
How many versions of the bike did you have to make before you got to what you're at now?
I mean, there are so many, like, thousands of improvements, so I think the overall concept is very close to like what we thought from day one. But then you do so many iterations. I mean, we have components with hundreds of iterations, and then you have a few components that first time we get it right.
Yeah,
but that's very unusual, I think.
Yeah.
And even today, like in production, we are always making improvements. Like after a certain amount of time, you might realize that this component could be 2% better in some regard, and then we will change it if we can see that. So we're changing things every single day.
Yeah. How long did you guys have the bike before you put it into production? How long were you guys riding it before it came out, or even anyone seen it?
So I think a little bit less than 2 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, saw it. We presented it fairly early, but production came a bit later.
Yeah. When you launched pre-sales, was it just crazy, or was it what you expected?
It was I think I've never been closer to a heart attack than that.
I bet you had to have been so nervous. That's a stressful situation to be in. To be like, okay, like how's the industry going to take this? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Yeah,
and also there are like so much effort and money that went into the project. Like, what are people going to think? That's of course one part. Also, like I decided I will be the one presenting it. So I'm also putting myself out there, and I'm not a guy that normally I'm like to be a little bit,
behind the scenes,
So
it's a great show to be on, then, brother.
Well, here we are.
You're going to be clipped and posted all over the internet for the next year.
So it was a bit scary for sure. And then when we launched, we saw that like immediately just took off, and orders started like flooding in. But what made it even more nerve-wracking was that the website started crashing.